Well, good morning and welcome to Tuesdays with the Pilgrim. We continue our journey today with Christiana and Mercy, chapter 22, part 5, Simple Sloth and Presumption. Now I saw further in my dream that they went on until they came to the place where Simple, Sloth, and Presumption lay sleeping when Christian went on his pilgrimage. They were there, a little way off the other side of the road. Their hands and feet had been cuffed in chains, and they were hanging dead. Then Mercy asked their guide, "Who are these 3 men? Why are they left hanging there?" "These 3 men, who had some very bad qualities," answered Greatheart, "not only had they no intention of becoming pilgrims themselves, but they also hindered everyone else they could. They were slothful and foolish themselves, and they sought to persuade others to be like them, promising that in the end they would all do quite well. When Christian went by, they were asleep, and now, when you are going by, they have been hanged. Look here how the slothful are a sure sign, strung up, cause holy ways they did decline. A child would be a man, and will so fain, but weak grows strong when Greatheart sifts the grain." "Were they actually able to persuade some to think like them?" asked Mercy. "Yes," answered Greatheart, "they turned several out of the way. There was one, Slow Pace, who they were able to persuade. They also prevailed upon Short Wind, No Heart, Linger After Lust, Sleepy Head, and a young woman named Dull. As if this were not bad enough, they also gave a bad report to your Lord, persuading others that he was a taskmaster. They also spread around an evil report of the good land, saying it was not half as good as some pretended it to be. They slandered his servants, saying the best of them were meddlesome and trouble-making busybodies. Further, they called the bread of God mere husks, the comforts of his children mere imaginations, and the travel and labor of pilgrims things of no purpose." "My," said Christiana, "if they were like this, I don't grieve for them. They have only gotten what they deserved. I think it is a good thing that they were hanging so close to the highway, so that others can see them and be warned. But wouldn't it have been better to erect a sign made of iron or steel, and engraved with a description of their crimes, so that others like them might be cautioned?" "There is a sign," answered Greatheart. "You can see it if you walk over to the wall." "I don't need to see any more," said Mercy. "Let them hang there, and let their names rot, and their crimes testify against them forever. I think it is a great favor to us that they were hanged before we got here. Who knows what else they might have done to trouble such vulnerable ones as we?" Then she began to sing. "Now you 3 just hang there and be a sight to all who against the truth shall unite. And let those who come after fear this end, if to the pilgrims they are not a friend. And O my soul, of all like these, beware, who opposing the truth do so declare." Chapter 23, Part 1, The Dirty Spring. They went on until they came to the foot of the hill Difficulty, where again their friend Greatheart took the opportunity to inform them what had happened there to Christian when he had travelled by. He took them first to the spring, saying, "Look, this is the spring where Christian drank before he began to go up this hill. It used to be clear and good water, but because some did not want pilgrims to quench their thirst here, it is now dirty." "I wonder why they would be so envious?" asked Mercy. "The water is drinkable if you use a good container to get it out," said Greatheart. "The dirt will settle to the bottom, and then the water will become more clear." Christiana and her companions wanted to try this, so using an earthen pot, they took some water out and let it stand until the dirt had sunk to the bottom. Then they drank it. Chapter 23, Part 2, The 2 False Ways. Next he showed them the 2 false ways at the foot of the hill, where formality and hypocrisy were lost. He explained, "These are 2 most dangerous paths. 2 were cast away here when Christian came by, even though, as you can see, these ways have been closed off by chains, barriers, and even a ditch, Nevertheless, there are some who will still choose to endanger themselves here rather than make the effort it takes to go up this hill. The way of the unfaithful is hard, said Christiana. It is a wonder that they can get into those ways without breaking their necks. They will go ahead and take the chance. Yes, even if one of the king's servants happens to see them and warns them that they are going the wrong way and that they are in danger, they will answer insolently, "We will not listen to the message you have spoken to us in the name of the Lord. We will certainly do everything we said we would." No, if you look a little farther, you can see that enough warning signals have been placed in front of those ways. Not only are there chains, barriers, and a ditch, but there is even a hedge around them. Yet they will still choose to go there. They are extremely lazy, said Christiana. They don't want the trouble of the uphill way. It is just too unpleasant for them. Therefore they have fulfilled what is written. The way of a lazy man is like a hedge of thorns, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks into a snare, rather than go up this hill and the rest of the way to the city. Chapter 23, Part 3. Climbing the Hill Difficulty. After this they all set out to go up the hill, but before they reached the top, Christiana began to pant and said, "It is difficult to breathe on this hill. No wonder those who love to be comfortable choose an easier way." "I must sit down," said Mercy. At that time also the youngest boy began to grow faint. Come now," prodded Greatheart. "Don't sit down here. The prince's arbor is just a little further up the hill." Then he took Mercy and the boy by the hand and led them there. When they had arrived at the arbor, they were exhausted and very hot, so they were very happy to sit down and rest. Then Mercy said, "How sweet is rest to those who labor, and how good it is for the prince to provide such a resting place for the pilgrims. Though I have never seen this arbor, I have heard much about it. Only let us be very careful not to sleep, for I have heard it cost poor Christian dearly." Then Greatheart said to the boys, "Come, my fine young men, how are you doing? What do you think about going on this pilgrimage?" "Sir," said the youngest boy, "I thought my heart would stop beating, but thank you for helping me. I now remember what my mother has told me, that the way to heaven is like climbing a ladder, while the way to hell is an easy slide downhill. I would rather climb the ladder to life than go easily down the hill to death." "But going downhill is easy," said Mercy. But the boy, whose name was James, replied, "I think that the day is coming when going downhill will be the hardest of all." "You are a fine young man," said Greatheart. "You have given her the right answer." Mercy smiled, but the boy blushed. "Come," said Christiana, "here are some sweets for you to eat while you rest your legs. Here is a pomegranate that Mr. Interpreter gave me just as I was leaving his house. He also gave me some honeycomb and a bottle of spirits." "I thought he gave you something when he called you aside," said Mercy. "Yes, he did," replied Christiana. "But Mercy, it is just like I said. You also will share in all the good I receive, because you willingly became my companion." Then she gave them what she had, and they ate. And Christiana asked Greatheart, "Sir, won't you eat too?" "No," he answered, "you are going on a pilgrimage, and I will soon return home. You will need what you have, but at home I eat the same food every day." So after they had eaten, they chatted a while longer, and their guide said to them, "The day is wearing quickly away. If you are ready, let us prepare to be going." So they got up to go, and the boys went in front of them. They had gone only a short distance when Christiana remembered that she forgot her bottle of spirits, so she sent one of the boys back to get it. Then Mercy said, "I think this is a place for losing things. Christian lost his scroll here, and now Christiana has left her bottle behind. Sir, what is the reason for this?" "The cause is sleep, and, I might add, forgetfulness," answered Greatheart. "Some sleep when they should stay awake, and some forget when they should remember. This is the very reason why some pilgrims who stop at resting places sometimes end up the losers. Pilgrims should keep watch and be careful not to neglect what they have already received, for they are capable of forgetting even what has been their greatest source of joy, often because they have grown careless. Their rejoicing ends in tears, and their sunshine turns into dark clouds. Witness the story of Christian at this place. Chapter 23, Part 4. A Stage for Warning. When they had come to the place where Mistrust and Timorous had met Christian, and had tried to persuade him to go back with them out of fear of the lions, they saw something that looked like a newly erected stage. Near the stage area and close to the road, they could see a large floor engraved with verses telling why the stage had been placed there. It said, "Let him who sees this stage take heed, watching his heart and tongue, lest if he wouldn't, by here he'll speed, as some before have done." The following explanation was printed beneath the verse. This stage was built as a place to punish those who through fear or mistrust will not go farther on their pilgrimage. On this stage the tongues of both Timorous and Mistrust have been burned with a hot iron for attempting to hinder Christian in his journey. Then Mercy said, "This is very much like the saying, 'What will he do to you, and what more besides, O deceitful tongue? He will punish you with a warrior's sharp arrows, with burning coals of the broom tree.'" And we'll stop there for today, and we'll pick it up next week at Chapter 23, Part 5, The Lions and Giant Grim. Until then, take care, stay safe, and God bless.